Hello everyone, welcome to this season's third episode of MATC Now. Today we'll look into the Sign Language Interpretation Program and we'll learn about the mini scholarships. We'll also see what Chef Shannon is cooking for us today next door. All of that and more coming up next on MATC Now. Welcome to this week's episode. I'm your host, James Charles. Today we welcome our guest, Denise Cunningham, a support scholarship specialist for Shakota. Welcome. Tell us a little bit more about you and your role here at the institution.
Okay, well, I am the scholarship support specialist for the Shakota Scholarship Program. It's a pretty new scholarship. This is our third semester.
Oh, excellent. Excellent. That's amazing. I know it can help so many students. We can't wait to hear more about you and the program, Denise, but for now, let's check in with Leslie, who sounds like is on the pulse of things.
Hey James, I'm here in the H building in the Echocardiography clinic to learn about what the students learn about the cardio ultrasounds. So stay tuned because I have so much more to show you.
Thanks, Leslie. We can't wait to hear more about the Echo Lab clinic, but for now, let's see what student producers Shadi Moore and Ailin Perez have found in their quest for art after dark. Let's also see what interesting things student producer Abigail B. learned over at Alverno College's Media Hub.
Art after dark. Ending the Halloween season with candy and artistic expression is a mural and sculpture garden that aims to unify and inspire the Milwaukee community through the creation and interpretation of art in many forms. Hosted by Art Intersection MKE, the Green Space entertains an idea of giving the public access to hands-on art and science-based activities. The goal is to create meaningful social connections whilst turning the gears and harboring fun with creative production. Featuring art by Milwaukee natives, inclusivity and representation is highlighted by the various pieces and locality of the event. Art After Dark is located on the north side of Milwaukee on West Fleet Street, which inhabits a large population of diverse ethnicities. Over 40% of people in the area live under the poverty line, where Art After Dark provides a cost-free environment for people to feel better associated with their community. And have opportunities to network, providing a sense of belonging in the area they live in, welcoming and targeting the youth to flourish creatively. And have opportunities to network, providing a sense of belonging in the area they live in, welcoming and targeting the youth to flourish creatively. It is about the access to resources and the way in which Art Intersection MKE acts upon their purpose of caring for the community. Aiding and guiding the youth to creating their own art, to build confidence and communicative skills, to perform as dedicated and expressive Milwaukee citizens and beyond. This is Art After Dark.
I'm a media hub assistant, and I have many roles. Basically, I assist the media hub department with videotaping special events that we have in the house, like Latinas con Fuerza, Kente, graduation ceremonies, but also conferences. If we play movies, I assist with audio and video, but also I support the students in their learning.
Mariella works at the Media Hub with student workers. Their duties include documenting and helping students sign out equipment.
We have online forms on Alverno's website that students can book equipment through. Otherwise, they can walk in and just let us know what they're looking for and what they want to check out, what they need for whatever project they're working on, and we just go from there.
And if you need a computer, you have to fill out a form in the technology services, and the computer has to be approved, and you can check it out for the whole semester. And then you keep it all semester long, and then you return it at the end of the semester. If you need a camera to videotape, you come to Media Hub. You can, if we have the equipment available at that time, we check it out right away to you. We only need your ID, and you can keep it up for 3 days.
Students from all over the Alverno College can sign out equipment. However, only the COM 371 students can DJ on Alverno's local radio station.
We train the students to become DJs, and they can choose their own music. You create your own ID, but there is guidelines that we have to follow.
The Media Hub often learns new software to improve the ability to be more resourceful for students around the college.
I problem solve so many situations, and I'm really happy when I'm here. And believe it or not, we get a lot of thank you notes from teachers, from students, problem solving situations. If I have to run because they need something that we don't have it, or I don't know how to connect my computer, little things make a difference. And I'm so excited to be here in the Media Hub because we help and support each other, and we problem solve situations. And I feel that makes me a better person, because helping others, assisting others, and servicing others is always a great thing.
Well, the Media Hub over at Alverno looks just as cool over there, much like the one here for students in our TV program.
Yes, James. And those art pieces are phenomenal. I wish I could have seen it in person.
Right. Hey, I think it's about time to go check in on our field team. How's it going out there, Leslie?
Hey, so glad you're back. I'm here at the H building, like I said, and joining me today is Amanda Edens, who's the clinical coordinator here and instructor. Amanda, how are you today?
I'm doing well. Thank you for stopping by.
Good. Yes, of course. So what do we have going on over here?
Over here we have Brianna, one of our echocardiography students.
Hey.
She is actually performing a cardiac ultrasound on one of our volunteers.
Interesting. So what kind of things can we see on the monitor right now?
She's looking at the patient's mitral valve opening and closing there. We can see, with echo, we can see all the chambers of the heart and all the valves opening and closing, and it does assess for any pathology that might happen.
Sure. And how long does this process take?
An echocardiogram,
Yeah.
usually between 45 minutes to an hour.
Okay, interesting. And what is echocardiography?
Again, echocardiography is cardiac ultrasound.
Sure.
It's a non-invasive way of assessing patient's heart function.
Yeah, of course. Now, see, we're moving into this room. What is going on over here, ladies?
We have 3 more of our students here. We have, they've got a cardiac ultrasound image up. They're analyzing actually blood flow in this image, looking at the flow coming through one of the heart valves.
And what do the colors mean on there?
The colors are actually speed and direction of the flow of the heart.
Okay, and how can one identify with something is not looking good?
That's one of the reasons why we have the program here. It's not as easy as it looks. They assess, again, like I said, the speed and the direction. It all depends on what view we're looking at, and like which valves we're looking at, and if they're opening or closing when they're supposed to.
Okay, cool. And so when do students get to join the clinic as students in the echocardiography?
They start the clinic in their second semester. The first semester and over the summer, they scan each other a lot. And so one of the purposes of the clinic is to provide them with more real-life experience, where they're scanning people that they haven't met before, more like it would be a real world, like I said, in a hospital or a clinic setting.
So what is the clinic open to the public?
The clinic is open actually Monday afternoons from noon till 4. We do have walk-ins, so if you wanted to stop by H233 on Monday afternoons, it's open to friends and family and staff and students as well at MATC.
Cool, very cool. And I see, with technology developing, what new equipment have you
received? We actually bought 2 more new ultrasound programs, or ultrasound machines, sorry, for the program. We try to stay on top of the current technology, and it only benefits the students to be able to have the cutting edge features that we are able to offer here.
Of course, yeah. And what job outcomes do students have with these?
All right, we'll get back to Leslie a little bit later, but in the meantime,
classes.
it sounds like a good time for all of us to schedule that appointment, make sure our hearts are in good shape. Now let's learn some ASL with student producer Sam Bussey and Miranda McCauley. Also, check out the amazing scholarship program with student producer John Weimer.
Milwaukee Area Technical College is for learners who are passionate about working with deaf or hard of hearing students in an academic setting.
Well, I grew up in a deaf family, and I noticed that my parents and other deaf people have been struggling to find an interpreter in recent years, so that pushed me to pursue sign language interpreting as a profession.
Students learn to become professional interpreters to be able to ensure that deaf and hard of hearing students have equal access to education.
The first year student in the program, what they're going to learn is to understand deaf culture. They're going to understand the language and the difference between English and ASL, and to be able to comprehend that English language is not equivalent to ASL until they make it that way by their word choices and their interpretation.
The students become interpreters who are needed to facilitate communication between deaf and hard of hearing students with their teachers.
This program is important because deaf people need a way to communicate with the hearing. Otherwise, they would be ostracized from the entire world.
MATC's Sign Language Interpreting and Education program includes both deaf and hearing faculty for a well-rounded introduction into the deaf community.
Well, that first semester, there's really a lot of focus on short sentences, even phrases, and to be able to comprehend the concepts behind it and then translate it into ASL. And as time goes on, it becomes more and more like a paragraph, then a story, and then they're able to understand the concept and how to interpret, based on like what they're hearing. And so then they start to succeed more and more in school, and then they go out into the community and they have the skills to be able to interpret everything.
This 2-year program leaves students with the opportunity to function as a sign language interpreter in an educational setting.
What brought me to this program was wanting to become a teacher and wanting to learn ASL so that I could communicate with any deaf students that I had. And then I fell in love with Linda, I fell in love with the language and the program, and just became something I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Coursework prepares you to interpret the spoken English of hearing people and present it to deaf and hard of hearing people in American Sign Language.
They're doing hands-on work all the time. They're constantly training and improving their skills. So when they go into the workforce, they're going to continue that. They're going to be able to open up the door for many other fields in the interpreting, and they can rise to even higher skills. But this is really one door that will open up to many other opportunities down the road.
This program helps students in developing knowledge of the culture of deaf people in America.
Students gain a knowledge of deaf culture. Students gain how to correctly translate a sentence from English to ASL and learn what's appropriate for ASL that wouldn't be appropriate in English.
One of the most helpful individuals at MATC is Sarah Kappert. Being the manager of scholarships, Sarah aims to empower every student with crucial financial guidance and assistance by making the process as simple as can be.
I take great pride in making my applications as easy and pain-free to fill out as is possible, because I know they can be daunting. Filling out the regular financial aid application is a whole thing, so I try and make my scholarships as short and to the point and collect only the information that we really can't get anywhere else.
At MATC, locating scholarships is a simple task.
There's a scholarships webpage that has a link that's always up to date on all of our different scholarships. You can find how to know if you're eligible, the link to apply, how to contact the staff behind it if you have questions, but it's all in one central location.
The amount of students that Sarah has supported at MATC with scholarship help is remarkable.
Literally thousands. My one scholarship, The Promise, has supported over 3,000 students since it started in 2016. Our Shakota scholarship, which is only a year old, has already helped over 700 students. And if you look at the foundation as a whole, because I'm just one small part of it, it's thousands of students since it began. So I like to think that every single one of those is a success story, because even if we help with something as trivial as $50 to buy basic school supplies, that still alleviated that student from having to buy those and was one less hurdle that they had that semester.
One of the countless students that Sarah has helped is Zoe Salem, a student at MATC who is pursuing licensure in practical nursing.
I got accepted into the nursing program. I was ready to use my financial aid, but then I found out I wasn't eligible for it. So one of the financial aid specialists there at Oak Creek, he mentioned Shakota and told me to reach out to Sarah. Sarah's super awesome. She's super informative, and she's very quick with her emails. So she would always tell me if I wasn't eligible for Shakota, there's always other scholarships that'll help pay for my textbooks and supplies. You know, stethoscopes and blood pressures are very expensive. So I definitely appreciated her and all of her collaboration that she has done for me.
The Full Ride Shakota Scholarship is designed specifically to remove financial barriers for students.
But it covers tuition, books, supplies, housing if you live on campus. We give out grocery cards every month to help buy food off campus, as well as meal plans for when you're on campus.
Getting into contact with Sarah is easy.
We're always here live and in person 5 days a week in the admission center at the downtown campus. So S110, S112, whatever you'd like to call it. Students can walk in and say, hey, I have a question about scholarships, and one of us will come out and assist.
Sarah's devoted efforts in assisting MATC students will motivate the generations that follow to accomplish their dreams.
It was just me having a realization, the light bulb came on, like, this is where my passion is. I'd rather work with the students than be behind the scenes. And now I've been running scholarships kind of officially for 3 or 4 years, and they keep growing, and we keep finding ways to support students in new ways. I want to get people the money, and I want people to be successful.
All right, well, it seems like you guys have your hands full down there with the scholarships, Denise. A lot of information that we're going to put out. So we're joined today with Denise Cunningham here, who is You work for the Shakota Scholarship here at MATC?
Yes.
All right, tell us about that program.
Okay, well, I am the scholarship support specialist. The Shakota Scholarship is a full ride scholarship. It's a last dollar scholarship, however, so after all other federal grants and things are applied, then Shakota will come in and pay for tuition, course fees, books, supplies, childcare, housing if you're living in the Westtown Green apartments, transportation as well.
All right, and from what I understand, this is also for students who may not be eligible for other financial aid?
Yes, so some of the DACA students who aren't eligible for financial aid, they will just have to prove their work status in the U.S.
All right, and this is named for the Shakota family, what I understand, and they donate some money. And what is the reason they donated and set up the scholarship?
They set up the scholarship to help students that want to be successful, and they wanted to prove that you don't have to attend a 4-year university or have a degree. You can earn a certificate or a diploma and be just as successful.
All right, and does that cover only degree programs, or what programs are covered?
No, it doesn't cover degree programs. It only covers certificate and diplomas.
All right, what's off limits?
Associate and bachelor's degree or higher are off limits. You must maintain a 2.0 GPA. You also have to live in the Milwaukee area. You have to apply for financial aid unless you have a work visa. Permission to work in the United States. And you have to also agree to participate in the postgraduate surveys as well.
Right, and how does that work? How do the postgraduate surveys work?
So after graduation, we may send you a survey to, ask questions about how well did you like the scholarship, or, what was your services? How did you like the services that were provided? And what did the scholarship do for you or mean to you? Things like that.
Right. Now, when people come in and talk to you about the scholarship, what can they expect?
They can expect a whole lot. The scholarship is a really amazing opportunity for students here at MATC to obtain their certificate or diploma program with a short, in a short amount of time, 18 months. So they can expect a lot. Like I said, the supplies, books, course fees, tuition, child care, meal plan. We also offer Kroger gift cards each month. It's a really great program, and we're getting more and more students to apply each semester.
Right, okay. What are the deadlines for signing up for the program?
For this upcoming spring semester, the deadline is January 5th.
All right, and I understand there's sometimes it may extend into the summer for some of the programs?
It is a fall and a spring start program. However, just this past summer, they opened it up for CDL students who would like to apply get their CDL license.
Right. Now, students have gone through the program. Have they come back to you? Have you been able to talk to students that were able to succeed with that program, and have they reflected with you on what they gathered from the program?
Yes, we get emails all the time where students just come to say hi and say thank you very much. They'll email and let us know, how well they're doing and how appreciative they are of the scholarship. They let their friends and other family members know. It's like a really big thing. They really want everyone to, be a part of the scholarship, everyone that qualifies.
Right. And from what I'm gathering from you, this covers occupational programs, barbering,
cosmetology, some of those programs that don't qualify for financial aid, Shakota will, pay for those programs as well.
Right. All right. Sounds like a rewarding program for everyone involved. And where's your office here on campus?
I am located in S110 in the S building. In room S110.
All right, students need to come check that out for the Shakota Scholarship. Meanwhile, let's check back in with Leslie. From what I understand, she's out there still riding the waves out there in the cardio lab.
Ready?
So sorry we lost you guys. Anyways, where were we? We're talking about the new technology, right? So what kind of new equipment do you guys have?
Well, we just received a couple new ultrasound systems just last week, and it's important for us to try to stay on top of cutting edge technology.
Yeah.
It only benefits our students to be able to have their hands on the latest and greatest.
Yeah. And so now that we're talking about cardiac ultrasounds and ultrasounds in general, what is an ultrasound?
So ultrasound uses high frequency sound waves actually to look at structures inside the body. In our case, we strictly use to looking at the heart. Sorry, this is my microphone. Looking at the heart, and with an echocardiogram, which is another word for cardiac ultrasound, we can assess the structure and function of the heart without having to use any radiation, without having to use it's non-invasive and very safe. Ultrasound is.
Yeah, of course. And how often should people check for their cardiac ultrasounds?
That's all depends. It's not. We don't have a screening that like they do for mammograms or anything like that. That's all going to be based on their physician, whether or not they decide that they're indicated to have an echocardiogram.
Sure, yeah. And what makes a good fit student in this program? Like what?
Oh gosh, we get students from all walks of life. Yeah. So you have.
Well, we'll get back with Leslie maybe later, but for now, I'm just being distracted by what is smelling so good next door. It's got to be our amazing chef Shannon in her kitchen. Let's go take a look at what she's cooking.
Thank you guys. I'm Chef Shannon, and today let us celebrate this salad pun extravaganza with the delicious salad. For this simple and delicious recipe, you'll need lettuce, tomatoes, peppers, croutons, cucumbers, carrots, chicken, and dressing. All right, let's start with our lettuce. So I've just got a regular head of lettuce. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna chop this end off right here. Get that out of the way, we don't wanna eat that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and just start cutting up my lettuce. I like to cut lengthwise. And then once I've cut some of that, now I'm gonna go this way and I'm gonna chop it up kind of into squares. All right. Now I think that's a pretty good base for our salad because you can't have salad without greens. We're gonna place that lettuce right in our bowl and we'll save the rest for another salad for another day. All right, next up, tomatoes. I love tomatoes. They're super delicious and juicy. So what I like to do is go ahead and just make some slices. Ah, this tomato is super crisp. The best kind of tomato. Now I like to make some slices, and once I get my slices good, I go ahead and I cube it. That seems like enough for me, don't want too many. I'm gonna add those to my salad. Look at that starting to shape up. All right, we're gonna move on to our carrots. Carrots are great for your eyesight. And I'm just gonna slice this up as well. You can use baby carrots too, but today we're gonna go with good old-fashioned big carrots. Now, usually you'd use a little bit bigger of a knife, but I'm a little limited today with my stock. So I'm using this baby little knife, and I'm just gonna keep cutting these up. That's enough for me. Add those right on top. Now, whatever you don't use, you can save for later. Now we're gonna move on to our cucumbers. You can use peeled or you can use not peeled, whatever, it's up to you. Just make sure you wash your cucumbers if you don't peel it, because that's kind of gross. All right, we're gonna go in and we're gonna make some slices. You know, I used to not like cucumbers, but they're really growing on me and I really think they're delicious in salads. All right, it's almost enough. I'm gonna make a little smiley face on my salad. And there we go, little salad smiley face. We're gonna move on to our peppers. I'm using red peppers today, and I like to slice off the top. And then I go in, and I'm gonna slice out that center piece right there. You don't want the seeds. They're kind of gross, I'll be honest. I'm not a big fan of the seeds. Then I like to slice my cucumber. Cucumber. You know, I can't get over those cucumbers. I'm just thinking about them all day. All right. peppers, excuse me, and I'm gonna slice these up. I like to leave them nice and long. All right, enough for me. We're gonna move on. Croutons. Now these croutons, keep it nice and crunchy on top. You can't have a salad without croutons, you know? I feel like any good salad needs to have some croutons. Finally, we're gonna add some protein. This protein is the best. This is chicken, obviously. You can use any sort of protein you like, but today we're gonna be using chicken. If you're vegan, I like to go in and make some chickpeas. Those are really, really good for this. All right, finally, we're gonna take some dressing. This is Italian dressing, my personal favorite. And we're just gonna drizzle it right on top. Ah, what a beautiful looking salad. All right, I can't wait to eat this. What a great way to have a meal that is both delicious and nutritious. What a great way to stay healthy. Thank you all for joining us, and I'll see you next week. Back to you in the studio.
Wow, what a tasty looking salad. I'll make sure to stop over and grab a bowl next door here. Now, you've seen them, you love them. Let's see who's behind some of the PBS sets with our student producer, Sage Todd.
You've met many staff that keep Milwaukee PBS gears turning. But there's one person that hasn't yet been recognized. He's one of the most important creative forces behind the scenes of Milwaukee PBS. He is Joe Sankey.
I am the production designer here at Milwaukee PBS, which means I do all of the 3D things that are visual, scenery, wardrobe, events environments when we do that. I have a Bachelor of Fine Arts from Carnegie Mellon University in theatrical set and costume design, and I have a Master in Fine Arts from Boston University in theatrical set and scenic artistry. In truth, I never thought about designing for television. I came to Milwaukee to work for the Milwaukee Rep, and after being there 3 years, I started doing freelance work. And someone I knew here at the station said they needed a freelance scenic designer for a couple of jobs. And I came here, and one job led to another job, led to another job, and now I've been here for 35 years just designing for television, even though I started out in theater.
Joe's hard work and experience allows him to psychologically go into the viewer's eyes, which allows him to adapt and create amazing artistry for television.
Sometimes it's more fast-paced than others, but it has never become a routine. There's always something new coming at you. I will look at books, I will look at magazines, I will look at paintings, I will look at old movies, old television shows. I will look for anything that gives me the spark. If I have no idea what I am going to do with a set, I will start wandering up and down the aisles of the big box stores and just looking at materials and letting the materials speak to me and tell me what I can do with them.
However challenging, set design is more than just about art. It's also about telling a story, setting certain moods or emotions, transforming spaces, and making a memorable impact on the viewer.
I think students at MATC in our television program should take advantage of every minute that they're here, because they're going to learn from the people they work with, who are all working professionals, and we love doing our jobs and we love talking about our jobs. The students here are going to be the next generation in this business. They're going to hopefully build on what they have learned here.
Well, Joe Sankey seems to know his stuff around set designing. Now let's get into MATC Minute with James.
Students graduating this December with a 3.5 or higher cumulative GPA are encouraged to sign up to be selected the outstanding speaker at commencement for the associate degree and technical diploma. Students with a 2.7 or higher cumulative GPA can participate in the President's Award competition, Applications close on Wednesday, November 15 at 6 p.m. Questions? Email honors@matc.edu. MATC is improving the class registration process to serve students better. Students will now register by their academic and career pathway. Students in a degree, diploma, or certificate program, here are your registration dates. November 6th through 10th for continuing students, November 13th through 17th for new and returning students, and open registration on November 20th. Know anyone who's interested in being on screen? Our TV production students are looking for children between 3 and 7 to be casted in our upcoming production, Letters to Santa. We encourage you to help us keep being Milwaukee's longest running series. Sign up by email at letterstosanta.pbs@gmail.com.
Thank you, James. I think it's finally time to take a look at what student producer Hannah Stewart has for this week's Gem KE.
I'm student producer Hannah Stewart, and this is another Hidden Gem KE. I'm here at the Lynden Sculpture Garden. If you're interested in art and nature, this is the perfect place for you. It showcases more than 50 different sculptures throughout the park.
The Lynden Sculpture Garden was the estate of Harry Lynd Bradley and wife Margaret. She was an experienced art collector and began collecting contemporary monumental sculptures in 1962, till her death in '78. Margaret would direct the location of the sculptures. Some artists would even travel to Lynn to assist with the assembling and placing of their work.
This spot is perfect for people of all ages. In 2009, it was later opened to the public, and a conference room, classroom, and gallery was later built. There's many educational events that focus on nature and art.
The park includes many sculptures from names such as Charles Ginnever, titled Olympus, Sky Fence, created by Linda Howard, Axle Tree, created by Alexander Lieberman, Robert Murray, who created Windfall, and many others.
I'm Hannah Stewart, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
Well, very artsy, but that's all the time we have for today's episode. Thank you, Denise, for being here today and for sharing your work with us.
Thank you.
And thanks to all of you tuning in at home. Make sure to join us again next week for another episode of MATC Now.